Say that my favorite part of the trip would probably be just on that first night when you sort of get back to the hotel and you stumble back into your room and there's no air conditioning. So even though it's like gotten down to a nice cool 70 degrees outside, it's like 95 when you walk in there. You're like trying to blast the fan, but it doesn't really help. And you lie down on the bed, trying to fall asleep. For just like 5 seconds, I'm thinking, oh, this is miserable. And then it all just sort of clicks. And I'm in Nicaragua. I just spent my first day. I just spent my first day working. I'm gonna have another 2 whole weeks there, and there's just this moment where, yeah, it's just this moment where you're just so happy knowing what's gonna go on, and that's my favorite part of the whole trip.
When we were down there, we obviously built some physical structures, a latrine. We did some physical work out in the field, clearing out a field for a baseball field, and we laid down some concrete and a kitchen area for a church with a feeding program. But those things might be what last physically, but for me, what really lasted are the relationships that I made there. The people were some of the greatest people I've ever met. They were genuine, and for me, that was way more important than I'd ever thought it would be. The people I know are, of course, genuine when they need to be, but they aren't the same. The way that people interact down there is just so different than so many places that I've been. And being my first time out of the country, it was a completely new experience for me. I got thrown into a new society and a new culture that I had never encountered anything like before. So what's really going to last me my entire life is the experiences that I had there with the other people. I didn't go down there to help them. They were there and they helped me more than I could have ever done for them.
My favorite part of the trip was probably seeing the finished products. I love seeing the stuff we build, and especially when it's finished. I love that we went in and we started those projects. We got to see the groundbreaking. We also got to see when they were finished. The latrine will last the kids at the school about 7 to 8 years, depending on use, and concrete floor will hopefully continue to last and make sure the people going to the food bank at the church won't have wet feet. It was this awesome collaboration with those projects. It wasn't just us going to help them, of course. A lot of times we'd have Nicaraguans, some not even involved in our group, just showing up to help machete the fields or with masonry, helping mix concrete. It was a really, really awesome collaboration between our two groups that made those things happen.
Especially in Brenda's kids, Mateo and Kevin, they were the easiest to interact with in my opinion, because children are so openly friendly and not really super worried about breaking down these barriers as we are. And this kid, Mateo, essentially, I don't even know if he caught on to the fact that I couldn't speak Spanish, because by the end of the trip, no matter how many times I'd say like, no habla español, he would just keep talking at me in Spanish, and it was a little bit stressful, but we were still able to just play and hang out and just create a really nice bond that you wouldn't really see in a lot of other places.
One of the experiences that was very meaningful to me was always having lunch in the same place. We had lunch at a woman named Brenda's house. It was fairly typical Nicaraguan architecture. It was brick and mortar and a lot of steel beams and tin roofing. There weren't really screens, there weren't really windows. It was just openings that were covered with doors and sometimes bars. And despite the fact that even in the area those folks were living in was fairly low income, even for the surrounding area, they loved opening their home to us. They loved feeding us. They loved pouring us drinks and getting us seconds. And I pretty quickly realized that, in a sense, while we wanted to be there to serve them, we were the ones that were being served. In the equation, they were the Jesus serving us, and we were the ones getting served by them.